Hey guys, it's Taylor here, and today this is just gonna be, I guess, like a more talkative video, I guess you could say. I'm gonna try and do a video like every 2 days, something like that. Maybe have like a set schedule when I upload. Haven't completely decided yet. This one, it's just going to be about like what got me into cars. I don't know if I've really ever gone over that. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Yeah, so people, have asked me from time to time, like, what got you into cars and stuff like that. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know what really got me into cars. I know that's sad to say, but unfortunately, I don't know what got me into cars. I don't know, like, I know how it started, but I don't really know why I decided to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start getting into cars and, want to do all this cool stuff. It just kind of happened. But I'll give you, like, just the rundown story of, how that happened. I got my first car, and it was a manual. I learned how to drive manual thanks to my dad. And ended up getting a 2004 Mazda 3 for, like, my first car. Let me roll the window up, sorry guys. My first car was actually, my dad got it, and I was going to be making the payments and doing all that when I found a better job. But it was right when I turned 16, I got a Dodge Ram 2500, and I've talked about this in previous videos. Not recently, but I have talked about it previously. I got that, and then I just wasn't going to be able to afford it. I didn't really like it. It was a giant truck. It was long. But I learned how to drive manual on that, and that was really fun. And so I told myself I was always going to have a manual, except for this car, obviously, which is the DSG. Not a true manual. People claim it's an automatic, but when you look it up, it's a twin clutch manual. I'm not going to get into that. That's different. Anyway, after I didn't want that, my grandparents were like, hey, if you give us, we'll do a payment plan with you, you can have this 93 Power Ram 250 turbo diesel. I was like, okay, cool. It was a little bit smaller, a little bit better on gas, I think. Probably not. Anyway, my uncle decided to say, hey, that's mine. But back to the main part of, what this is about. I got my first car, my 2004 Mazda 3. It was a 2.3 liter. It had some torque. I'm not gonna lie. It had some pretty good torque. It could do some good burnies. But my friends and I, we would cruise down what we call State Street, obviously. And there's always this gas station that my friends and I would call Ricer Gas Station. Come to find out, it wasn't full of Ricers. It was full of really nice, well-done cars. Obviously, there were some cars that weren't the best. Like, there were some, there were some Ricers there. Not going to deny that. My Mazda was one of them after a couple months. I decided to do a muffler delete on it. I was looking up, exhaust videos. Decided to do that. It sounded good at low RPM. You got into the high RPM, it didn't sound that great. But I started going out there with my friends and stuff like that. And before I had my first car, I also heard about what people call Mexico. People go street race there. One of my coworkers had a 2005 Legacy GT. His name was Jack. He also has a YouTube channel. I might actually talk to him, see if he wants me to give him credits in this. Obviously, he more or less got me into cars. I would always see, this is ironic because I hate them now, I'd always see a 2007 Hawkeye STI. It was a manager's at my work. I worked at a car wash, detail shop, etc. And the detail manager had a 400 horsepower STI. And it was loud. It was nice. And I talked to him, and, that's kind of where it started. And then my other coworker with the 05 Legacy GT, he took me for a ride in it one day, and that was fun. And then, like I said, going to the gas station and stuff like that every now and then, not every now and then, like every Friday, Saturday night, and going out to Mexico, I, got into the racing and stuff like that, and got into cars, and then a right-hand drive dealership, like an importer opened up. Sadly, they're no longer here. They were called Import Specialist, or ImpSpec for short. And when I turned 18, right out of high school, when I saw my first car, I had that from 16 to, I think 19 is when I got rid of it. Maybe a little earlier than that. Anyway, when I turned 18, I really wanted to just see a Skyline in person. And they had Skylines, and they had right-hand drives. They had Pulsars. Well, a Pulsar. They had Silvias. And one of the guys there, he was, I want to say, a salesman. I think he was actually a manager before another person came into the picture. I came in, he was really friendly, he was really nice. I talked to him, and, you know, it was literally on my birthday, in April, sorry. And he talked to me, and he took me for a ride in a Skyline. It was about a 300, 400, I don't remember the horsepower on it, horsepower Skyline. It was rear-wheel drive. It was a GTST, so it was RB20. It did have an upgraded turbo, clutch, all that. Better fueling and stuff like that, obviously, to support everything. And I think it was running on a tune. Maybe not, maybe. I don't honestly remember completely. But I went for a ride in that, and we got back, and there was a blue Pulsar, which is still here in Utah, still locally owned. And he's like, you should drive this. I think you'd really like it. It's all-wheel drive. It's turboed. It's fun. And I was hesitant at first. I was like, wait, really? You want me to drive it? Like, me. First right-hand drive I've ever been in. Or second, I should say. Second right-hand drive ever been in. And they let me drive it. He had my ID and everything. I was 18. This was my senior year. And I drove a Pulsar. It was really fun. And I went home immediately. I was still living with my parents. I went home and told my mom, I want this car. Like, I want this car. I know it's a little out of my price range. And I was already looking at cars before this. I was looking at Mazda Speed 6s because I went for a ride. Oh, another thing. Went and looked at a dealership. You know, we just stopped. My best friend and I, Michael, we just stopped, looked at it, and we just looked at the car. We didn't talk to a salesman about it or anything. And it was a SRT4, because I knew those were turbocharged. One of my friends at school had one, still has one. And I thought they were pretty cool. And a salesman from the other dealership, which is right next door, is like, hey, do you want to see a real car? And I laughed. And I looked in front of me, and parked right there was a Mazda Speed 6. And they were more rare than not, or like uncommon. Like, it was my first one that I've actually seen up close in person. And he's like, here, let's go for a ride. Took my best friend and I for a ride. Took us for a couple rides, actually. And I went home again and was like, I can afford this. Told my mom, I can afford this. I can get this. Let me do this. I was working at Office Max at the time. This is after the car wash and everything like that. I was working there, and I was hooked. I needed boost. Like, that's just, it was just, I was like, I need it. You know, like, you know that SpongeBob meme? I need it? Yeah, I needed it. I wanted boost. So, graduate high school. Still got my first car. Third gear starting to chirp because I'm banging gears in it. Not even gonna lie. Third gear went out in that car during a race with a BMW 325 or 328i. I don't know. The people said it was a drift car, and, you know, I believed them, but I assumed it had more power than mine. Yeah, no. They lost. They really did. Had my best friend and his cousin in the car. Vouch for that. But I graduated high school, and I needed a cosigner because I didn't have established credit at the time. And so I asked my grandma. I was like, hey, Grandma, there's this car I really want. You know, will you co-sign with me? My mom didn't know. She didn't have any idea. That was a mistake, because she found out after, when my grandma told her. And I got approved for the loan. What loan? It was for a 1990 Pulsar GTIR. The dealership ended up getting another one. It was completely gutted. It was $9,000. It needed work. They dropped it $2,000 because they were going to do everything, and I said, no, I want the car now. I want it now. They dropped it $2,000. I pulled a loan for $9,000. And then they gave me $2,000 back in cash. And it was great. I had my first right-hand drive. And that car was fun. Didn't have radio, didn't have AC. Middle of the summer. Just graduated high school. And I guess that's really what got me big into cars is, you know, just going out to that gas station. I took that car to that gas station all the time. People always wanted to race it. People didn't know what it was. It was unique. And, you know, that just helped me grow the love that I have for cars and the passion. Now, Utah's car community, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. Obviously, I shouldn't say that. But, like, I love the car community here, but at the same time, sometimes it's, you know, overbearing. It's like, if you don't have this car, you don't have these mods, you know, it's kind of annoying. Like, people are just like, oh, no, your car sucks. Granted, I talk crap on Subarus all the time. I'm not a big Subaru fan, you know, they're comfortable. I've driven in one of my friends, like, I've gone for a ride in them. They are comfortable, they're fun. But just the issues that they have, that Subaru's never come out and fixed, it's just, I couldn't own one. Anyway, guys, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. And I know this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but it's just what got me into cars. So I got that right-hand drive, and then my best friend was like, we're going to take a vacation for a month. You want to go? Sure, went on a vacation for a month, came back, and I missed that car. First thing I did is I drove it, and I went to a car meet on my best friend's birthday, nonetheless. His mom wasn't too happy about that. I felt really bad after the fact. I went to a giant car meet with it. It was fun. I loved it. I really did. I loved that car. It ended up getting totaled. And after that, I just kept telling myself I need another right-hand drive. Like, I need more cars. And that's just, it kept growing and growing. And then I got a Skyline. And, you know, it's just a passion. Like, you just have that passion, you know? But what this story is all about is, you know, you're not really talking about what got into cars, you're talking about your cars. Yes, but those are the things that got me into it. Working at that car wash, seeing the cars that were there, like the manager's car, seeing it there made me want to get into cars and, you know, start doing car stuff. Like, I'd always talk to him about it and stuff like that. And it was just really fun. You know, granted, I don't really work, I'll be honest, I don't really work on my own car. I'm not the biggest, you know, I don't know everything there is about cars like some of my other friends, but it's just, I have a passion for the cars themselves. Like, I know that, like, I know enough to do basic things, so I'm fine there, but I just have to give it to my friend Jack, who got me into cars. And, you know, my dad probably played a strong part in it too, because, you know, he's a mechanic, he's a decent mechanic. We've always talked about wanting to do project cars together and stuff like that, and that's just, you know, how it is. Like, we always talk about doing something special, and so, you know, we still want to do that whenever we get the chance. But working at that car wash, it got me into cars and everything, and that's, you know, that's what got me really big into cars, was just having my own car and being able to go out and, you know, see other people's vehicles, like at that gas station, and just going to the races and just seeing what cars can do. It's just, it's a great passion that I have, and I probably won't ever grow out of it. I love cars, and I don't know, you know, granted they haven't given me the most financial stability, but, you know, you live and learn. I'm trying my hardest to, you know, make up for the mistakes that I made with a couple of the other cars. And my passion just keeps growing every day. We have cars to escape things. Like, oh, you're having a down day? Let's go cruise, man. You know, like, it's just an escape from things, you know? That's just how it is. And so what got me into cars was just being able to hang out with people that were also into cars, and that's, you know, it's screwed to this. I've owned, I think this is my 8th car now. And it's just, it's never going to stop. You know, I want to have multiples of some cars. Like, there's some cars that I really want to have that, you know, it'll take time to get. It'll, you know, it'll take a lot of time and effort and money, but I'm willing to work for it. And that's just, you know, that's what got me into cars. It's just being around them and just being able to do stuff with them. You know, my first car, I did a muffler delete. It wasn't that cool, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's the little things that you do to keep the car scene alive. And that's what I love about it. shouldn't focus on what other people are doing. You should build the car for you. So, thank you guys for watching this. You know, that's the history of what kind of got me into cars, the cars that I've owned and stuff like that. Sorry I jumped around a lot, but I just have to thank, you know, some people for getting me into cars and just, you know, showing me the roots of it, just how awesome it can be. Granted, it's not always awesome. There's, you know, drama involved. There always is, but yeah, this is just, you know, what got me to cars, and it's my hobby. I shouldn't say hobby because it's more than a hobby, but I love it, and nothing's going to change about that. So, anyway, guys, if you liked the video, let me know. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.